Hello everyone, I'm Lorraine Kauffman-Hall from ATTAIN Marketing, and very pleased to be with you today at the RSA Security Conference in San Francisco. And today I'm sitting down with Robert Richardson, who is the director at the Computer Security Institute and a longtime friend. And I wanted to talk to Robert today about the trade show event industry and where we're going. So first of all, Robert, if you could just give us a high-level synopsis of what you think the trends are.
Sure. Well, I think that industry events are a little more focused because of the pressure in the economy. That's not too surprising. Also not too surprising, they're a little smaller. And I think partly because they are smaller, there's an increased interest in being aware of the internet, tying an event to the internet, and being more internet facing. And one of the more interesting things that's going on there is that there's more streaming video coming out of conferences. And I think that's the area that we're going to see the most growth and the most innovation coming out of, is getting conferences broadcast over the internet from the event.
Right. And that makes sense. On that topic of online events, what's some innovative trend maybe you've seen specifically around online events?
Well, I've seen at least one event out there that is streaming basically the entire conference, and I suspect we'll see more of that. It's a really effective way to sort of package up the event. On the one hand, that's bad for conferences because it means people don't have to come. On the other hand, there are a couple of benefits. One is that they reach a broader audience because they are reaching out into the internet. And secondly, I think it doesn't mean that the event itself goes away. It's not like we suddenly do everything out of a studio.
Right.
One of the things I've really been struck by in watching some of these early events is that having the core event actually happen is really central. That's what we're going to see, is smaller but more and more interesting discussion going on inside the event and then streaming outward from there.
Right. Okay, so that's great. So overall, in terms of this trend, what can companies do to make sure that they leverage the opportunity to generate leads? Because that's a big deal, is generating leads. So what can they do?
I have noticed that vendors like to generate leads, and we support that. I think the key thing, though, is making sure that the event is healthy, which means sponsorship, but also making sure that you bring the big brains from your organization and put them in the room and get them involved. And I think in the past, when you thought about really big trade shows, you sort of sent a small army, and if you were a couple of people short, you picked up a few on-site, sort of rental people, and now I think you send a lot fewer people, but you make sure that they're the people who can really contribute to the discourse that's going on as part of the event.
Great, makes sense. All right, well, thank you. We've been sitting down with Robert Richardson, director at CSI, and we've been talking about events. See you later.